Thanks to German Knife Shop for sponsoring Everyday Tactical Vids. German-knife-shop.com. Hey, what's up everyone? Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids. Today we're going to talk to you about this, which is a new flashlight from Claris. This is the XT21X. So I got this flashlight a couple weeks ago. I've been checking it out. This thing definitely throws light in the night. I have been really impressed so far with it. Couple things that stand out to me. First, it's USB or micro USB rechargeable. Show you that real quick right here. So there's your little port. It's comfortable in hand. It has a bunch of different ways you can activate it. So we've got a pressure switch on the end here. We also have this little paddle, and then we also have a button here. So this allows you to turn it on at pressing the end pressure switch like so. The little paddle will put it immediately into strobe mode. Let me show you that. So strobe warning here. And then this light, this button on the side allows you to turn it on and cycle through the different settings like that. So I really enjoyed this light so far. It's worked well. Let me make sure I turn it off here so I don't blind myself. Let me run through the specs and the details, and then we'll take it out into the night and show you some night footage. One of the first things I can tell you is that the size of this makes it a good light for me to keep in a car or to keep in a bag. And then another use for me is a light like this is to keep it at home, so I have immediate access to a light at night. If I have to get around the house, look for something, get a light, and go outside, this is about the size light I like. If I'm not using a headlamp, I don't usually like a tiny little light. I like something about this size. Let me go through the specs and the details, and then like I said, we'll show you what it looks like at night. All right, so as is true with a lot of tactical flashlight, it's IPX8 rated, so it's submersible down to 2 meters, drop resistant to 1 meter. Now your different settings, you're gonna be able to get a very, very low setting here. Let me just turn it on there. Show you what that looks like. That's all the way down to 5 lumens, and then it's going to go all the way up to the highest setting at 4,000 lumens. I just want to blind the camera here, but you've got a really nice range as far as your light from that extremely low up to 4,000 lumens for a smaller light like this is pretty impressive, I think. All right, let me run through the specs here. So your moonlight is 5 lumens, that's going to run for 200 hours. Your low is 100 lumens, that's for 21 hours. Medium is 400 lumens, that's 6.5 hours. Your high is 1200 lumens, and that's going to be for 2.3 hours. And then your turbo is 4000 lumens, that's going to run for 1.2 hours. So when it comes to that highest setting, that turbo setting at 4000 lumens, they have what they call their intelligent thermal protection system. And basically that means in the turbo mode, as it gets to a point where it's going to affect the light and it's going to possibly break the light, it's going to start dimming the light down so it can handle the heat level. If that gets too hot, it's going to dim it down a little bit more. They don't give you the exact numbers on what that burn time is and drop down time is, because it's not 4,000 lumens and then drops down to 1,000. It's going to slowly drop down in the lumen output to keep the light as bright as it can be for as long as it can without it, hurting the actual flashlight. Let me show you the light in operation using the side selector switch. So we're going to press it. It's going to come on at that highest setting, drop down, drop down, drop down, drop down, and then it's going to be all the way at that moonlight setting. If I hit it again, it's going to scroll all the way back up to the top. Let's go maybe 2 steps down, hold it down, it'll go off. Tap it, it's going to come back on at that same setting. Hold it down, it's going to go off. Now we'll wait for, let's say 10 seconds here, 5 seconds, whatever it is. Give it a little bit of time to see if that memory function actually works. I'll tap it here now, and it's going to come back on that same setting. So the memory function does work. It's going to go back to that setting. When we are on, and I double tap, it's going to go to strobe, and then double tap again, it'll go to SOS. So here's strobe warning. Here it comes. Strobe, and watch. It goes at different speeds, which is good, and then double tap to SOS here. 1, 2, 3, and then wait for the 3 faster ones. 1, 2, 3. All right, so let's talk about this end switch now. Press this on, and it's going to come on. And now when I press the little flipper switch there, flipper, that's what I'm calling it, a paddle, that's what I'm looking for, paddle, that's the word. It's going to start scrolling down, so that's gone down 2 steps. Down 3 steps, and then all the way back up to the highest, down, highest. So you can't get to that moonlight setting with the paddle process, but you can still select through different settings. Let's show you just the paddle. That's going to go right to strobe, so strobe warning, and then off, strobe warning, and then off as well. The light also has a lockout feature, so if I hold down for 5 seconds on the side, it's going to flash twice. So that's locked out. To get it out of the lockout feature, you're going to tap 3 times and it'll unlock it. But if I just bump it right now, it's not coming on. If I just bump it, it's not coming on. And when I bump it, you can see it flashes green to basically say, hey, nice try, but it's locked out. 3 taps, and now it's working again. Let me show you the holster system here. So it's ballistic nylon, got a plastic D-ring there. There's hook and loop, so you can put that on your belt, and there's also a completely stitched in loop to run your belt through there. The other thing I like about this is drop it in, and let me see if you can see that. Down on the bottom there's like a little plastic cup for the light to sit in, and that guarantees that you're not going to bump that end switch and turn it on. So just a little feature like that, those little things add up. You know, when you're going to spend a certain amount of money on a light and you're looking across a bunch of different companies, those little features I think are a little bonus basically. So that little cup right there guarantees that even if I press this thing down, it's not going to accidentally bump it on and have the light come on. Also on the side switch, it has a power indicator, so I'm going to click it and show it to you here. You can see that's orange, so it's got a different settings. If it's green, you're at 70 to 100%. If it's orange, you're at 30 to 70%. If it's red, it's less than 30%. And if it's red flashing, less than 10% of the battery left. Speaking of the battery, let me show you this real quick. So this is kind of a unique battery as far as for flashlights. I don't see a lot of them with this style battery. So 5,000 milliamp. It's a 21700 3.6 volt battery. So it looks about the size of an 18650, but just a little bit different. Again, so drop that in here. So yeah, there's a quick rundown of the features for the Claris. Let's give you the letters again. XT21X. So lots of information as far as your numbers and stuff. There's your little, like I said before, your little micro USB to recharge it. And with that said, let's head out to the night and show you this thing in use. All right, guys, we're out front. I'm on my front porch, and I'm looking at a garden that's about 40 feet away. Let me just run through the different settings for you here. Start off at 5 lumens. Can't really see anything on the camera, but I will show you that it is actually on here. All right, it's going to jump from that lowest setting up to the highest setting, so that's going to be 4,000. Obviously, that lights up the little garden over there, and then I would say, probably 2/3 of the front yard here. Go down to 1,200 here. You do see a difference in the light, but it's not super notable from that 4,000 to that 1,200. Let's drop to 400. Still able to see most of the yard, and then down to 100. You can pick it up on camera a little bit there. Definitely a hotter center, but a pretty nice flood for kind of a compact or more compact tactical light. And then back up to 4,000 here. Okay, I'm in the front yard looking back toward the driveway now, looking at the car. That's about 60 feet away. Let's give it that highest setting, 4,000 here. So, I mean, yeah, I could see most of the front porch. I can see 90% of the driveway. I mean, it's definitely lighting up the whole area. Drop down to 1,200 here. Again, you can see a drop, but I can still see everything pretty much just fine. Okay, down to 400. Again, a drop definitely notable at this point, but I'm able to see the front yard pretty much fine still. Not as well as that highest setting, but I would definitely be able to operate with this 400. Here's 100. With the human eye, not as good. I wouldn't walk around as comfortably with this in the woods, but still definitely functional. And then down to that moonlight setting. You can pick up some of the reflection on the car now, but and I could walk okay in the front yard, but I wouldn't want to walk through like a thick woods at this point with this amount of light. Let's go to strobe here. As you can see, it does change back and forth between how fast and slow it's flashing. Now we'll go to SOS. Okay, I'm looking off into the woods now. Let me give you the 4,000 lumens. Really good light here. I mean, not only does that throw really nicely into the woods. But again, I mean, this entire area of grass here that I'm shining it at, I would feel totally comfortable just, you know, walking over here. There's nothing that's going to be popping out, or, you know, nothing I'm going to be tripping over, just because there's so much light. So that's 4,000. Let's go to 1,200. Got some wind coming in here, but again, not a huge drop from the 4,000 to 1,200 as far as how it appears to the human eye. Let's go down again to the next level. Let's go down to 400 here. Still throwing light really nicely into the woods. Let's go to 100. Okay, at that point, I'm not seeing as far into the woods as effectively for sure. And then back down to the moonlight setting at 5. Let me just shine this up into the trees here. Yeah, I mean, if you had to spot something up in the trees, no problem with this light. Just to show you real quick here, I'm going to shine this at the house here, which is about 45 or 50 feet away. It is an off-white color, so it's definitely going to reflect the color back. But I mean, if there was anybody inside this lower front window that I'm about to look in, I would definitely be able to spot them. And a strobe warning here. All right, guys, wrapping up here talking about the Claris XT21X. So overall, definitely a good flashlight. I've enjoyed using it. I mentioned before, I think this is a good multi-use flashlight. You could keep it in a car, keep it at home, keep it in an everyday carry bag. It does come with the battery. It does come with a lanyard, a micro USB recharging cord. It does come with the sheath or the holster, depending on what you call it. Comes with a lanyard, an extra O-ring. So all those basic, you know, things that will come with your average higher cost flashlight. Price point for this is going to be a little over $100. It's $119 right now on Amazon. That price will drop, I'm sure, in the future, just as they become more popular and there's more out on the market. So let me show you the little holster system again. I really like the fact that they've thought through the idea or the issue that can come up with that bottom end pressure switch getting bumped. So that little cup that it rests in really deals with that issue. It's a nice holster too. It's got Claris right there on that little rubberized portion, which is cool. It throws light. I'm not going to EDC this light. You can see it sticks out that far if you carry it with the pocket clip. You cannot take the pocket clip off and flip it around, but I don't know why you'd want to try to carry it with that much sticking out. Just too big and clunky. I like the fact that you can hit that paddle and go right to the strobe if you want to, but also you can use the paddle to cycle through the different settings. I think that's kind of a cool feature to this thing. Where am I going to use this? Honestly, right now, not totally sure. We're going to see. I've got another light from them that I'm going to be checking out, and it's got some different features. It's actually got like a little knob on the back so you could adjust through the different settings. But this thing has worked well. I have dropped it a couple times, not on purpose, but it's held up to that and worked efficiently. And yeah, just to show you inside, I don't know if you could see it there, but there's your little orange peel reflector inside. So that's why you're getting more of that flood instead of just that straight hot center. But like I showed you, it does definitely throw. If you're looking for a light that you're going to spend $100 on, 4,000 lumens at the highest setting, that's solid. And then 1,200, it's going to run for quite a while. That's pretty impressive to me as well. Just want to show you real quick on the end here. You can see this section is kind of like scalloped out. So the idea is that you're going to rest your thumb like this so you can click it on and off easy, but that you can reach up a little bit more to hit it and turn on that strobe. So it's not meant necessarily to be held like this so you can hit the strobe immediately. Your thumb is going to kind of rest in that little divot, and then you can reach both the normal pressure switch and the paddle as well. So yeah, once again, the Claris XT21X flashlight. Micro USB rechargeable, lots of output, tactical light. I'm liking it. I'm enjoying it a lot. And let's hear your thoughts from what you've seen. And if you own other lights, particularly this one, or other lights from Claris, let's hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thanks as always for checking out the videos. Please subscribe to Everyday Tactical Vids if you haven't done so already. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check us out on Instagram, Tumblr, and Vero as well. More videos coming soon. Take care.